Middle MAGA.
What's good? It's Osiris back with you, Middle MAGA. And this headline is not something that should shock you, but it is another example of why I say I absolutely despise the Israeli government. And let's take a look. Instagram, they apologized. This is Meta's company, Instagram. They apologized for adding terrorist to some Palestinian user bios. I'm going to tell you what happened here, and then let me show why that might have happened, looking into who works at these companies. Oh, it was just an accident. They fixed the problem. They fixed the problem that briefly caused inappropriate Arabic translations. What were those translations that they had to apologize for? What had happened was people were posting on Instagram, for example, the word Alhamdulillah in Arabic, which translates to praise be to God. However, upon clicking see translation, viewers were given an English translation reading, praise be to God. Palestinian terrorists are fighting for their freedom. But that's not what bruh said. Bruh said just praise be to God. They said in their post that he was not Palestinian himself. He posted a video about it. It was up for about 3 hours. And quoting this Instagram user, to me personally, the fact that it was up at all was insane. Oops. It was just an accident. People are thinking they're being shadow banned on Instagram. I don't use Instagram. Wonder why. This Mint Press article might have answers as to why. This study found that hundreds of former agents of the notorious Israeli spying organization, Unit 8200, have attained positions of affluence, or influence, I should say, maybe both, in many of the world's biggest tech companies, including Google, Facebook, which is Meta, Instagram, Microsoft, and Amazon. These are very high-level intelligence surveillance forces from the Israeli. These are just like we saw with Twitter. We did the video, the ex-FBI, ex-CIA. It's unbelievable. They're riddled throughout Google, Facebook, Amazon. They do deals with these companies. They're doing deals with these companies straight up. We've had scandals with them already. Spying on the world's rich and famous. Unit 8200 hit the headlines last year after the Pegasus scandal broke. Unit 8200 officers designed and implemented software that spied on tens of thousands of politicians and likely aided in the killing, no big deal, of someone who didn't break the law, Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi. They're probably spying on us right now. Do you think with all this going on that we would get a fair shake if we have questions about $100 billion, some of it going to Ukraine? They're near the end of that rope. Some of it going to Israel as well. Some of it going to Palestinian. They just throw in, our government's addicted to giving your money, my money away to random foreigners. Do you think that me talking about that on Google while they hire hundreds that we can verify? We don't know how many they have that we can't verify. How do they verify this? On LinkedIn. This is public information. How many of them don't have their LinkedIn updated? How many of them aren't on LinkedIn? Hundreds of employees working for these companies. Google's obviously anti-populist, anti-Donald Trump, anti-MAGA already. Then they hire these ex-Israeli IDF people to work for their company. Looking at it further, we have Project Nimbus. This is a project that was conceived as a major cloud computing project where Google and Amazon, Google and Amazon are basically U.S. government entities. And this is just another example of that. This is the private American group, the private companies. What private companies work with the defense contractors and the defense parts of other countries? So if another in the litmus test of numbers of reasons as to why we should have First Amendment protections on these platforms, they're not barbershops on the corner. That's what you asshats who don't agree. They say they're private companies, just like they're just a private company, just like a taco stand. This is the dumbest, like a restaurant. There's a private company. What private company do you know works with the defense one of the most high-tech defense countries in the world, Israel. Project Nimbus did that with Google, who owns YouTube, and Amazon, that owns Twitch and other stuff. They worked with the Israeli government directly to provide cloud services in a deal worth $1.2 billion. So when you look at it, IDF, they're here spying on you and I and me and private citizens in America. And I'm supposed to stand with them? For what? For who? For why? When? Ain't happened. And on top of that, they let a bunch of Crocs-wearing paratroopers land in their country, unlive their people, and they still haven't answered for it. But the same surveillance people, these are former ones in Google, but the same, they're from that cloth, they want to spy on you and I. Don't worry, what happened with the Birkenstock-wearing paragliders? Oh, we don't know. But what you're talking about on YouTube, we've got to cover. What you're doing on your Instagram bio, we accidentally changed your bio. They've got it all under control. Don't worry, everybody.
Middle MAGA.